Oops. 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 Oops.
It just popped in to pop out.
Yep. Alright, everybody. We're live here with Table Talk Thursday, episode 30. So congratulations on making 30 weeks of Table Talk Thursday.
Round of applause to us.
Yep. I'm your host here, HyperBrother_1. Also known as David, with my co-host and friend here,
Raining Death 909, also known as Kenneth.
Alright.
And thank you for joining us for this special edition of Table Talk Thursday.
Is it special? Is there a special edition? I was unaware it was a special edition. I didn't put that in the title.
It's really not. It's just going to be a short episode, folks. We're going to be working on...
We're testing on some new ideas because we got a little, this much feedback because nobody gives us feedback ever.
So we're going to be trying to see what we can do to improve our style, improve our graphics, branding.
I'm going to start looking like this guy.
Kind of thing. Just to increase production value and ultimately make a better news show.
We're going to make the news great again!
Damn straight!
I feel terrible for saying that. Alright.
So, this is going to be an hour long, and then after that we're going to be working on ourselves and on the show and making it good.
We're going to talk about things, and eventually I'll buy an actual new lamp. I mean, I kind of like the blue light seems to work really good.
Mm. I saw some nice LED panels in the Jinx room, where they do the little news show that high school does. Yeah, we need panels like that. Those things are
I need to see that. I guess, well, I don't know. I think you can visit a badge and you can show me. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyways. I mean, I'm still a public person. I can still be a human being as far as I know. Although everybody might frown upon that. I'll come in wearing my basic technology. Alright, without further ado.
Myra's going to be like, oh, I thought you were fired. Basic technology.
I was. But I work for Basic Technology. Here's my card. Still need to work on this.
We're going to work on a lot of things.
Yeah, well, this is my personal stuff.
We're going to work on him.
That sounds really homosexual.
We're improving him.
I love it. There we go. We're going to make me great again. Anyway, so the first thing we have to start off here is the
deadly terrorist attack that happened in New York. Another person driving another vehicle into a crowd of people.
Now this goes to emphasize something I think I've said in the past, probably not on the show, but something I say in streams, something I say in everything. Everything can be used as a weapon, people. Like the whole Joker pencil thing, that's pretty true. You can use a pencil as a weapon. John Wick did it too. But I mean, everything can be used as a weapon.
And cars are the latest thing that the terrorists.
Well, yeah, it's because it's a multi-thousand-pound death machine that if you
go fast enough,
hit people. Shit, you only for a car to actually hurt somebody deadly, you don't have to be going. I think 20.
Really, 20?
Yeah, that's why the speed limit's for school zones 20. Because remember, somebody got hit outside of Cherry, and did she die?
No, she just got hurt. I think a sprained ankle, maybe broken leg.
Yeah. But I believe 20 to 30 miles an hour at a 3,000-pound vehicle. I don't know. Do the equation. Physics tells me it's going to hurt. It's that simple. But anyway, we're going to roll the video. So I'm going to back it up here. I'm going to make sure that, let's see, is sound working? Let's test sound.
We are here on the scene of the deadliest terror attack in this city since 9/11. And to give you an idea of where we're standing tonight, take a look over my shoulder here. We are in the shadow of One World Trade.
Why can't we do that?
On the site of
Why can't we be outside? Look at what we're doing here.
Fine, we'll fly to New York.
No, I don't want to go to New York.
And just moments ago here, the police commissioner taking us to the crime scene. The weapon, of course, a truck rented from Home Depot. Authorities say the suspect deliberately veering onto a path for bicyclists and pedestrians.
Okay, so that truck. There's a Home Depot truck, fairly empty.
Look at how much damage that's done to that thing now.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing is, the majority of the weight was just the front of the vehicle. Because that back was just empty.
Yeah. No, that back is just pure emptiness.
Imagine if they had a Suburban or an 18-wheeler or...
Imagine the guy rented a $20 box truck from
truck from U-Haul. Just the sheer size of it. If I would have done more damage, but it's just, god damn.
It's really torn up. I have no idea how that person did so much to that truck.
I mean, this could have been so much worse.
It looks like it hit the median or something. I don't know. I can't really tell. There's dirt everywhere. Signs dug up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I enjoy my food here on screen. Okay. Carrying on.
Veering onto a path for bicyclists and pedestrians, speeding down the path. The commissioner telling me striking people for almost a mile. It lasted 4 minutes, the truck not stopping until it smashed into a school bus. Along that path, 8 people killed, including a mother visiting New York, and 5 friends here for that high school reunion. The suspect running from the truck, a hero officer shooting him. Tonight, we now know the suspect, an immigrant from Uzbekistan who lived in several American cities. Authorities say he carefully planned this attack for Halloween. And the letter tonight discovered inside the truck. We begin here with ABC's Gio Benitez, right here on the scene.
They're stuck in here.
Tonight, inside that horror following that deadly truck attack,
So
a
he
mangled
smashed
school
the
bus
bus
brought to a
and-
standstill in the middle of the road.
He smashed it into the side of that bus, too. I wonder why there's so much damage to it. That's a lot of damage to that bus.
Yeah.
Are the kids okay?
Well, I don't think so. That's why they're panicking. I think probably some of the kids are pinned between the chairs and the
You
sides
call
of the
911?
bus.
I got. Oh my God.
I mean, that right
Look at
there,
how
that's-
much damage that is. That's nuts.
Yeah.
If there were any kids on that side.
Actually, interesting thing to note, in New York City, any buses you see are actually private schools. Children in New York City do not actually have bus systems. They use the subway and walking.
It just doesn't seem safe.
That actually is, well, I mean, that's what they use. Because obviously buses are rather expensive to afford in New York City. And the distance
Also, it
and
takes
such.
forever to get anywhere. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
actually, no. The bus system, the New York Metro bus system, actually
No, I'm
is
talking
pretty
about
good
these
times.
school buses.
Yeah, those. Yeah. So interesting note. It's a private school right there, but still,
like the
terrible
two.
thing.
Look at how long
I mean,
it is.
look at it. We have that blurred out. Clearly, there's some kind of
Right here.
limb of a child.
The guy T-boned. Come on. There's kids right there.
Firemen and police rush in,
You okay, man?
working frantically to get to the children inside. Just moments after 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov crashed into it, authorities say Saipov had been planning the rampage for weeks, conducting prior reconnaissance of the very spot where he would drive onto that jogging path. Then, on the afternoon of Halloween, just after 2 p.m., renting a large truck at this Home Depot in Passaic, New Jersey. At 2:43 p.m., license plate readers that record every vehicle on the George Washington Bridge show him exiting the bridge into New York City. Minutes later, cameras outside of the Holland Tunnel show the truck swerving into the bike lane and mowing down pedestrians for nearly 20 blocks,
I mean, look
almost
at
a
that.
full mile.
Those New York blocks are fucking huge.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He was going for quite a while there.
You know, you would think there would have been like blockers in those kind of pathways. They had like it's a bike path. But
Well, I
still,
mean, we have those in like most of the Texas streets. Any place you go to, there's usually a metal pole right in the middle, so you can't do that.
yeah, I mean, a biker
start
could still,
whatever.
I mean, a cyclist still probably could get through them, but I mean, it's not a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like they're usually, for instance, I know here in the state, from where I've seen the bike paths, they're at the front and the end. But if you like swerve onto it at the middle, you can go onto it and just run people over.
Because I know they upped security and defense measures in Times Square, of course. Times Square is one of the most probably very well protected area with cameras out the ass. But still, I don't know how bike paths work. I don't know how city design works. But I would think something
Panicked
similar.
witnesses saying there's a man waving a gun in the street, reportedly yelling in Arabic, Allahu Akbar.
I was just frozen for a couple seconds, and then I saw him running towards a group of kids, and I just didn't know like if he was going to start shooting, where he was going to shoot.
Police officers on a separate call race to the scene. They see Saipov waving what we now know is a paintball gun and pellet gun. One officer shooting Saipov in the abdomen.
One of those officers, Brian Nash, takes action and fires his service weapon, bringing the attack to an end.
The suspect now on the ground, detained. In the wake of the attack, crumpled bicycles, some trying to help the injured. The engine from that truck that caused so much destruction still smoking. And inside the truck, officers finding knives, more fake pistols, and a note that said ISIS will endure forever. Tonight, 9 people are recovering in the hospital, 1 patient, a double amputee. All 4 patients with critical injuries are now stable. Authorities identifying the 8 victims who did not survive, 2 Americans, 32-year-old Darren Drake from New Jersey.
love how the media
his
always
father
points
describing
out
him
2 Americans.
Yeah,
And it's-
two Americans, as if
they're
nobody
like,
else
who cares about the French? No, 2 Americans. And of course, I mean, other...
Because, like, if you point out, like, the American people are dying, the American people get kind of riled up and pissed off, or something, I don't know. It's kind of silly, but we'll carry on.
as the
Oh, what you're
perfect
saying,
son.
though.
I'm not even angry. I'm not angry at all. I'm hurt.
And Nicholas Cleaves, a 23-year-old software engineer who had just graduated from college. 5 friends from Argentina visiting New York to celebrate their 30th anniversary of their high school graduation also lost their lives. And a mother of 2 from Belgium, her younger son just 3 months old.
And Gio Benitez joins us now live here in Lower Manhattan. And just moments ago, Gio, criminal charges filed against the driver. And now you've learned that in addition to that bike path, the suspect hoped for another target afterward.
That's right, David. He's now facing federal terrorism charges, and if he hadn't crashed, investigators say he was set to target the Brooklyn Bridge.
Hi, everyone. George.
Yep. Well then, there's that. That's Nito Burrito information. Also very terrible. I don't know what to say about it.
I mean, I'm glad the police response time was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, considering he targeted Lower Manhattan, I mean, there's already an increased police presence, and especially considering Halloween is when he decided to attack, you know, a time when tons of people would be out on the streets, as well as, you know, families and such. Of course, it looked like he attacked during the day, so not a very opportune time, I imagine.
No.
I don't know.
What's weird is
I'm
that he had all
criticizing-
those fake weapons and shit, though. Like,
yeah.
I figured
Like,
if he
clearly-
was a true ISIS militant, he probably would have had something.
Well, he says it's ISIS. ISIS is claiming ISIS claims everything.
I don't. You know, it might have just been like a random thing where he's just like.
Well, I don't know. Some people, because you know, ISIS has people using vehicles in America, because it's just the most easiest thing to get a hold of.
What?
ISIS has people in America using vehicles. I don't know. Home Depot rented trucks.
Yeah, Home Depot runs trucks.
That's something new to me.
A lot of people. I mean, they rent out tools and stuff too.
That's interesting. I didn't know that either. There's no Home Depot near here, so I don't know these things.
Sutherland's? Somebody around here rents out tools too. I don't think they rent out trucks, but
Probably not Sutherland. Sutherland's is too fucking shit at everything.
I forgot because we had to rent out a pneumatic, like I said, dildo thing for those stupid fucking weather stakes.
Yeah.
Because like we're sitting there trying to manually turn them in, and I'm like, you know, there's like fucking 10-foot long stakes that go into the ground, and I'm like, and I'm
A little
like,
more force.
I was like, I can't. Like, there was a point where like everyone was trying to do it, and I got like a couple more turns, and everybody got to the point where I couldn't do it. And then even whenever we had the pneumatic thing, it's like this huge, like 50-pound device. And like, so they gave us an air compressor too, but it's just like, and like to hold it, it has so much torque. It was like beating me trying to hold it. It was nuts, dude. That thing was insane. Giant, scary device of painful, possibly painful things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
cool.
sure. But yeah, no. Tragedy.
Yep.
And it could have been so much worse. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, 8 people died.
Yep. It's just current like trend right now. It's just like what the ones in Europe too are.
Mm-hmm.
People just driving a truck through people.
And there it's a lot more difficult to get a hold of guns, which is probably why they prefer to use trucks. I mean, I guess it's also pretty difficult in New Jersey. I don't know.
Maybe people looked at them and they're like, you're one of them terrorizers. Well, I mean, if you did that in Texas looking like that, you're like Arab.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the American racist the Texan racist gun shop owners would be like, boy, are you one of them terrorizers? Carrying on though.
Alright. So here we have a story of a parent that has held a first grade teacher hostage in elementary school.
Crisis near Los Angeles. A parent storming into a school and holding a teacher hostage for hours. Our senior national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene with the story. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. When you see those images of those SWAT team members escorting out those 7- and 8-year-olds, you get a sense of how terrifying it must have been here. Now, an eyewitness telling us that parent took a teacher in a headlock, beat another teacher. Hostage negotiators tried to talk him down, but to no avail.
Why was he doing
Just
that?
after 11 a.m., hundreds of students evacuated and SWAT teams swarming on Castle View Elementary School near Los Angeles with reports of a hostage situation.
Riverside is 11 on scene, staging on ransom.
Eyewitnesses say the standoff began with a parent forcing his way through the
Isn't it
school
interesting, the
office.
design
Immediately, I felt
of elementary
very
school
The weird hexagon things. Yeah, they're spread out. It's weird.
It's
like this isn't good.
He then allegedly grabbed first grade teacher Linda Montgomery, holding.
Now this is the point where I make jokes again. This woman is like 200% neck.
And forehead. I mean, the hornet's half her head.
Just look at how much neck meat this woman has. It's bigger than her. See, like my neck's not bigger than my skull. It so weirds me out when people's necks are just like. It's like one of the characters I made for Ark, fucking Neck Man. Just, his neck's like out to here and his head's tiny.
He has cancer.
Something. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Anyway, we'll carry on. It's terrible. No lady. She got hurt.
The 70-year-old into a classroom.
It's one of our first grade teachers had a disgruntled parent, and just pray for her.
The school on lockdown. Terrified students evacuated single file, waiting for hours at this nearby park.
What the hell happens that you get so disgruntled that you decide to go take somebody hostage?
I don't know. Have you? I mean, you work for a group of people that kind of action is possible. I mean, think about what happened to me. Think about my mom definitely could have responded with something like that. Remember how I got taken away and thrown? Yeah, like that's something that definitely merits a extreme response such as that. But I don't know.
I mean, not quite that, but an extreme response.
I mean, if she went into a meeting with the principal and fucking put him in a headlock, started beating his skull into it, I probably would. I would laugh and be like, "Sounds like something Mom would do." She'd never resort to violence. But man, she would rip that man's head off.
Anxious parents rushing to check on their children. Elizabeth Reyes worried her first grade daughter was caught right in the middle.
I grabbed her, and then as soon we started going back up to I knew that I needed to get somewhere safe.
And amidst the chaos, 2 men on the scene trying to get through to the suspect, telling our station KABC that they're related to the man.
He's not a bad guy, you know, he's never been in trouble. He's a good kid, just having an emotional breakdown.
But after hours of negotiations and police say with the well-being of the teacher unknown, the decision was made to move in.
Everything's locked down, everything is secured, and our officers or our detectives are going to go in there and methodically investigate this to determine what happened.
That standoff coming to an end with SWAT teams shooting the suspect. Watch as you can see him being transported out of the school on a stretcher.
Now, he was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. That teacher who had also worked here for 30 years, she was also taken to the hospital, but we're told that she was unharmed.
Guys. Would like to know his
and Matt, what's happening?
You know, what prompts a person to do this? I mean, is it like they said, an emotional breakdown, a mental breakdown? You know, something has to lead up to this.
Or was it? I mean, in my experience with 70-year-old ladies shit-talking kids, it happened to me all the time in our school district, so who knows? Or she could have said, you know, your fucking child is a terrible, you know, they could have said anything. I mean, some of these old people like that, as we've experienced teachers in the school district that are very angry people for some reason.
Ooh, some people who really shouldn't be teachers.
Pretty much. And who, like, they don't think about the well-being of the kids or anybody at all. They just, I don't know. Why do they? Some of the people that I've met just sit there and complain about everything and, like, angrily bitch out people and bitch out everything. And it's just like, why are you still a teacher? Like, if you hate it so much, why are you still here?
Probably because they know they couldn't really do anything else. That's probably why they hate it. Because they know they're stuck doing teaching jobs because they know they can't get anywhere else.
Possibly true. I remember the saying, those who can't do, teach. Ha ha! But anyway. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, what comes out of it. I'm like, did he hold the old lady hostage? Like,
I mean, clearly he did. I just want to know. I guess, well, she's a 70-year-old woman, and he's looked to be a man. I guess a relatively young, strong man.
I'm going to say, like, probably in his 20s.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, a 70-year-old woman in a headlock probably can't do too much.
Yeah, but for as long as it looks like it persisted,
many hours.
I don't think he would have been she wouldn't have been in a headlock the whole time.
Probably not. No. He probably had a gun.
Huh?
He probably had a gun, really.
Maybe, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
At the school, and what are they doing to help the students get through this?
The student's going to be closed for the rest of the week.
Also, the other thing I have to say is, like, that, like, lockdown just didn't seem to be, like, proper procedure. Everyone, like, walking out of the building and stuff like that.
Well, I think that was after SWAT got on the scene. So they secured down the area and got the kids out of there.
Were there kids in the room? Weren't they? Because it didn't sound like there were kids still in the room.
It didn't sound like it. So it might have been...
Maybe he, like, told the kids to get out, probably? Or
maybe it was during conference time. You know, because he might have asked you, when's her conference time? Time for us. Gone in there and did that.
I mean, some situation has happened like this before where I was at Holmes and, like, somebody came in and everyone got on lockdown. They told all the teachers to get inside. Now, again, one of these, this happened again and nobody told me anything.
I told John about that. He's like, no, you don't do that.
You don't do what?
No, I'll not tell you that there's an active event.
Oh yeah, you told him about which one? The one at Holmes?
You know, the one at high school.
Yeah, the one at high school.
Where
and I'm just like...
everybody just walked right by you, didn't say shit.
Yeah, a cop didn't say anything, nobody said anything, and I'm like... I'm really surprised. And then I went out to the parking lot and the principal, like, Townsend was standing out there with the chief of police. Nobody stopped me or said anything, and I'm just like... I guess they thought it was fine, I don't know.
I mean, I guess so. It's IT. I don't know why, but he can...
IT Kung Fu! I'll just throw, like, pull ram sticks out of my bag. Use them like shurikens or something.
I mean, there's, like, with the fire that happened, quote unquote, recently. We just walked in. Nobody stopped us or said anything. Just like, hey, we're going in. We're going to fight the fire.
Yeah, so it's things like that. I feel like they just have... You know, the whole communication breakdown thing really wasn't just IT. It's everybody.
Yeah, no.
They did, which is ridiculous. But they're like, but IT's the biggest problem. It's IT. IT's every problem. That's basically what it was. IT became the, like, it's IT and maintenance. Those two departments.
And now maintenance is now just the focus.
Yeah. It's all maintenance's fault. That's always how it is everywhere. Any job you go to. At my last job, it was always like, well, that's maintenance's thing. Like I told you, my boss was telling me like that I didn't need to drill holes in desks or I didn't need to do that. And I'm like, hey, wait, tell maintenance to do it, wait for it. And the maintenance dudes loved me because they were like, you're the only IT guy that's run any wire in the last 15 years. I was like, but I thought Kevin said he did. And they look at me and they're like, do you really think he would? I look at him and I'm like, probably not, no. And they're like, see, this is why we like you. This is why we'll do anything for you. Like, you just asked us. And I was like, nah, just give me the Skyjack and I'll go out there and do it myself. Like, I'm not doing anything, so it gives me something to do. So, yeah. So, I don't know.
Right, hopefully more will come out of this, of the story. I know he's dead, so we probably won't get too much of a motive. But it'd be interesting to see if
he's dead. Yeah, no, there is no motive when you're dead. Not anymore.
Well, I mean, he might have left some notes behind. Might have been
or maybe told his family members that were there trying to get him. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, they imagine the police hostage negotiator might have brought in family members to try and talk him down.
I have no idea.
Michael, but when those students get back here, their teachers are going to...
We don't negotiate with terrorizers.
Have to work with him through the trauma, not only of dealing with the trauma of that standoff here, but also the trauma of losing a fellow student's parent. It is not going to be an easy recovery here. Michael.
All right, thank you, Matt. Yeah, scary situation for for the children, for the parents, for everyone involved.
That's right.
That dude sounds just like what's his name? The
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it sounds just like Mike Tyson. Probably because of the giant toe scab. Oh, Highkick's talking over here in Mixer. Highkick, why are you in Mixer? So from all of these, stay away from highly populated cities. Leave you with a ghost view while I find something to be. Alright, cool. Thanks, Boo. I forget I have to watch both chats because everybody's everywhere. Nobody's nowhere else. Alright, and then we're gonna move on to the next one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's terrible. Terrible things.
I mean, there's just all kinds of listed today.
Why did you pull all the shittiest videos of everything's bad in the world today? Here's why. Who was saying? Oh yeah, Green Fiend, which he's now renamed to, but Mannequin 97, Chris, whatever, however you want to name him. He was saying, oh yeah, everything's all right in the world. And I was like, have you not seen the news at all? Have you not seen anything that's going on?
I mean, yeah, and I cut out some terrible stories.
Yeah. It's like, did you, the Las Vegas shooter? I mean, anything? Ring a bell anywhere? No?
Is that story supposed to be in there? Yeah, sure, let's go.
Is it? You're the one that sent it to me.
Sure.
Karonetic. The herb kratom helped me kick my head.
Kratom is actually a really interesting thing. I'd actually like to try some.
Is it like marijuana but different?
Yeah, it's like legal tea marijuana. From what I hear, it's actually quite good in helping symptoms of like pain,
throwing up, diarrhea.
It's quite promising stuff.
She does look like a heroin
the FDA, or no, it was the DEA, tried to get kratom banned, and then tons of people spoke out, and the DEA's like, okay, we'll back off, bro. So it's actually pretty interesting stuff. A lot of people, surprisingly, a lot of people are using it because it actually helps quite a lot.
I think my sister might have ordered some of this, like, is it just tea, like, that you drink?
Yeah, you can, like, I think, you just, like, make tea from it and such.
Yeah, I think my sister
other things
ordered
from it. I don't really quite know what. I've been meaning to get around to ordering some.
Yeah, I think my sister ordered some because it's like legal weed tea, basically, or something like that.
Something like that. I mean, the effects are shorter, it's like a lesser version, really.
Lesser.
Your will to live is gone.
Withdrawal from opiate drugs.
Well, part
Many
of the
will tell
things
you
is that...
look, space works.
Well, yeah, because it's YouTube. Of course. That's the only thing the only website that spacebar freaking works for anything. YouTube.
I mean, it works on my Android sites sometimes, then what's there.
Yeah. But no, the opioid crisis is actually a big deal. I mean, it's a public health epidemic. Yes, recently Trump declared it a public health crisis. Sure. Yes, but no, the opioid epidemic is huge in America nowadays. And the problem with it is not just the opioids, but the after effect of what they lead to, which is usually heroin abuse and usage. Addiction to the opioids. And there really isn't any real method currently to get really treat people in mass. Kratom is a big deal that people are using because it allows them to slowly wean themselves off of it, but also actually help with the pain effects of whatever they're going through. Because people take opioids, or it's prescribed normally for pain. That doesn't go away once they can either stop getting it prescribed or the prescription, or they get better.
Some people that have like one of my friends, she has a condition, fibromyalgia. It's like a severe pain thing that I'm assuming is more of a mental kind of thing.
No, fibromyalgia is a real thing.
No, it's a real thing. But I mean, like, what it sounds like is it's caused by some sort of mental or some sort of action in your life, but then it just causes your pain receptors to be the fuck out all the time.
I thought it was like a bone density thing.
Fibromyalgia, you're thinking about something else.
Let's see. Fibromyalgia is a disorder characterized with widespread musculoskeletal pain accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. Researchers believe that fibromyalgia amplifies pain sensations by affecting the way your brain processes. So it makes your brain is having an issue and makes everything amplified. Oh, that's terrible. Wow.
Yeah. So that's what she has.
And it's affecting 1%.
It's hard to just prescribe because people that sometimes do it because it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Is that people don't believe them. They think they're just trying to get painless.
Apparently, over 3 million Americans are diagnosed from it. Apparently, it's diagnosed as very common.
And it was saying the basis of it happens based on sometimes when you get sick, sometimes you whatever. It's something changes in your brain when it happens. So I don't know if that's classified as a mental thing or what.
No, mental is a different thing. It's a physical issue with just how your brain processes your nerve receptors. So it's definitely a physical thing. Yeah. Oh, that's surprising. Apparently it affects women majority.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume so.
I don't talk to men. Ken's just a woman in disguise.
Yeah, the hair is just a cover.
Your hair is just a cover. My hair is just a cover. My 2D wife is will always love me. What do you think about it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Tastes super gravy. It's decent.
Kind of watery.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I believe it.
But yeah, no, the opioid epidemic, it's a really big thing. So kratom is actually quite surprising and exciting for its use.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue on with the video when you get a second.
Yes. Just trying to recount key.
Yeah.
Working.
The shadows green, whatever.
Yeah. It's whatever. Shadows are green screen. Nobody sees what goes on behind the set.
That you continue to use because after a while, it's no longer about getting high. It's to chase away the feeling you're about to die. For Patricia Slavin, it all started 4 years ago with abdominal pain and a prescription for Dilaudid. It was the first time in her life she had ever taken an opiate.
They upped the dose, and it just kept to the point where I was taking a very high dose of pain medicine. I had to get on pain management.
Every month they say, how are you? And I say, well, you know, it's not really helping as much. I'm still in a lot of pain. Okay, well, add this to it, this pill, and then this patch.
Lisa Vinson, Patricia's younger sister, also had abdominal pain. Over the past 10 years, she's had 5 operations, including a hysterectomy. And yes, she also had lots and lots of narcotics.
I was torn between not being able to care for my family or, okay, I can take care of them if I just take some more pills.
Within months, 2 sisters.
No, on the
stream.
Oh yes, yeah.
Why?
Just so people can hear us a bit better over the stream.
Lisa and Patricia were both addicted to opioid painkillers, but things would soon turn even more
that's the thing. I know a lot of doctors right now
Every time they give me more, my body just
really.
gets into it. But then if I didn't have it, I get sick.
Under strict orders not to really prescribe opiates anymore.
So what'd you do?
Clearly, it's still
There
going
was a
on.
guy that I worked with. His wife had Dilaudid, but she didn't like them. She didn't take them, so he would sell me what she had, so that if I ran out, then I still had some.
But one day, that same guy didn't have any pills and offered up a cheaper alternative, heroin.
And the rest, as they say, is history. It just went downhill from there.
She called asking for money for more heroin, and I told her, I will not send you money for drugs. I will not. But I will buy you kratom.
Kratom. Around the world, kratom, an herb, has been used for centuries to help people manage pain, but also for the withdrawal from opium. Lisa knew from personal experience.
The reason I started taking it was because I didn't want to withdraw. I had no idea that it was going to help me with the pain like it did.
We definitely believe that this could be a solution to, or part of a solution to, the opioid crisis that we're currently in.
Christopher McCurdy is a medicinal chemist. He's also one of just a handful of scientists in America studying the Southeast Asian plant.
I don't see anything that rivals or even comes close to the ability for this plant to serve as a potential treatment.
And yet, in the U.S., it is banned in 6 states, and the DEA considers it a drug of concern over worries of potential addiction and even some reported deaths. According to McCurdy, that concern is because kratom is not regulated and has been mixed with other drugs.
Definitely, there needs to be regulatory measures put into place with this plant material, but there is a huge wealth of anecdotal evidence out there and some scientific that there is definite medical potential for this plant.
For something so promising, you may be wondering why others, including big companies, haven't investigated it. Part of the problem, it is a plant, and that means no one can patent it.
There's no financial incentive for any drug company to really pursue developing this into a drug.
That's interesting.
But couldn't they? They could test on it, like they do with other plants, find the chemicals that cause the things, and then patent that.
Maybe.
Because that's what they've done in the past. They found because they're like, oh yeah, well this thing does this, and it's like, all right, So then they go through and they research and they figure out, try to extrapolate which specific chemicals or which specific chemical or combination of chemicals are what causes this thing.
Was aspirin ever patented? Because aspirin comes from willow trees.
Which one's aspirin? Like real aspirin?
Yeah, actual aspirin.
I don't know what it makes up or what's made up in it, but I believe so.
That's interesting.
So that's why it's called that.
Well, I mean, it's probably called that in reference to the chemical, and I'm sure Bayer and whatever pharmaceutical they are.
I think it was Bayer that got it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna Google that now. He's curious.
How does the future look for you now? Your family, all your teenage kids that you have.
Bright. It looks beautiful. I have hope.
How confident are you that you won't go back to heroin?
Never fully confident. Never fully confident.
Right.
It's a powerful drug. But I think as long as I have kratom, as long as I can get it, me personally, I'll never go back.
So apparently it was produced by Bayer in 1899. They dubbed the drug aspirin and were selling it worldwide. Aspirin is Bayer's brand name rather than the generic name.
Mm-hmm.
However, Bayer's right to the trademark was lost or sold in many countries, of course, because as the term becomes used in a colloquial term to refer to things in a general sense,
you lose the trademark.
You can lose the trademark if you don't fiercely defend it. Interesting. But apparently they lost their trademark in 1917. So they only had 18 years on it.
So they had it, though.
They did have it. But I don't know whether it was for the actual... Because you can trademark a method of production. You can trademark, different things as a part of the process to get to a final product.
But it's patenting it, though. So you should look up aspirin patent.
Well, this is what I looked up on it. And apparently, I'm trying to consider it. Since it was a trademark, it's the name, perhaps not the product.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that they just trademarked aspirin and were marketing the drug of it, but not actually patenting what it actually was, because it was just a purified form of the acetylsalicylic acid, which comes from other salicylic-rich plants.
Question: how do generics work then? If they, because technically they use the same chemicals that all these other things are.
Generics work is so. Say a company makes a novel drug, not polio. Polio could have been patented, the actual cure for polio, but the scientists chose not to.
Yeah.
For instance.
Let's talk about like the NSAIDs, like Tylenol or something.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because those are, generics of that. There's generic aspirin too. There's generic ibuprofen, all that other stuff.
Yeah, it would. God, that green screen's all messed up.
Oh man, it's super messed up.
Yeah, it'd work better. Codeine, for instance.
Codeine.
Yeah. There are generic forms of codeine.
Is there? Codeine.
No, I believe there are generic forms of it. Perhaps not in America, but perhaps in other countries.
Mm.
But how medical patents work is they get patents for at least 20, 30 years, and if they can't prove there's some new novel use of it, then it becomes moot, and people can start making generics.
Mm.
The company behind, who's the big producer, Vicodin and such? I think they're actually fighting that in court right now to try and keep Vicodin or whatever the other one is.
I've never heard of that one that they were using. I know Vicodin's one. Was that Dialpam? Something like that. There's another one.
There's a big one other than Vicodin.
Hydrocodone.
Yeah, hydrocodone.
Hydrocodone, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying. I think the company behind the hydrocodone is trying to fight it in court, and apparently they have to find some new novel way to use it to keep the patent under it. And if they fail to, their patent expires and allows the generic to come through.
Good, because it should, I guess. Hydrocodone's not that expensive, I don't think. I know, I guess it is.
Well, that's the thing.
I thought there has to already be generic hydrocodones. Because, like, the true hydrocodones are what's Tylenol 3 with codeine or whatever, that's hydrocodone.
Mm-hmm.
They're the white pills with blue speckles on them.
Yeah.
But there's already other ones that do the same thing, that have the same chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't really quite rightly know. But basically, once a patent...
I'm not a drug person. I'm not too hot into the nerds, so I don't know.
Yeah, but basically, once the patent expires, people can start making generics. Same thing for anything, really.
Yes.
Drugs have patents as well as every freaking thing else.
Shit, my existence has a patent. Wouldn't be too surprising, but that was one day. That's the real question.
They broke the mold.
We've done it. We've made the most devastating we've done. We've done it. We've made the proto-hipster.
No, yeah, it's pretty much over. On that front.
I just realized this pie doesn't have the pie crust is smooth on this one. It's like a pie crust. It hurts me.
That's interesting. No, I'm just reading about Bayer, because apparently Bayer was a German company, and apparently when World War I broke out, they tried to shift all of their company to America, and apparently they were found out, and all assets and profits of the company were sold off, including the Bayer name and the aspirin brand name and such. Yep. Which is apparently bought by a patent medicine company. So goddamn, they're patent hounds even back then. Which they then sold them back to Bayer AG in '94 for $1 billion.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yep.
I want to do patents for a living. Maybe that's what I should do. Just buy and sell stuff.
Well, you should be Native American then. Because we covered that last week, or I think that was the story that I missed. But basically, companies are selling their patent or transferring their patents to Native American tribes, because under how trade law currently works in America, is that if a patent is being challenged but it's held by a Native American tribe, you can't actually challenge it immediately. It has to go through some really roundabout way to fight it. No, there's still through American courts, but it has to go through some really roundabout way, so it makes it extremely difficult. So tons of patent trolls and such are transferring patents to Native American companies to basically get around certain laws and such.
That's kind of nifty.
Yeah, but the bad thing is that it's going to force the federal government to adjust these treaties with the Native American tribes.
That's how I fixed the green screen. And hello, the candle man. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
All right, so we're done with the story. Carrying on to Brazil. Is this correct?
Brazil?
Is it Brazil? Because it's definitely Brazil here.
It's Brazil.
Hopefully they fix
let
it.
me just straight up say this: Donna Brazil is a horrible person, and she's just now trying to come out acting like, your system was rigged. Bullshit, Brazil. You rigged the system, and you knew about it. So fuck right off with that bullshit.
The former head of the Democratic National Committee skewers Hillary Clinton in a new book about the 2016 election. As Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen reports, Donna Brazil now charges the system was rigged against insurgent candidate Bernie Sanders.
Well, yeah.
So fuck right off right there. She knew that bullshit.
No, yeah, the emails were clear. It said, the DNC was on board with Hillary.
And Donna Brazil gave questions to the Hillary campaign before a debate that she had with Bernie Sanders. She was helping Hillary Clinton illegal. Well, I don't know if it was illegal, mind you, but it was collusion between the campaign and the DNC to have basically rigged the system to get a candidate. So she doesn't get to come out here and be like, oh, I'm, hello, this is exactly what happened. Fuck her. She's a lying bitch.
I'm trying to save our own ass because people keep asking the questions. Well, what about those emails where, Or you've been denied.
Questions this morning, Mr. Sanders.
Senator Bernie Sanders had no comment on Donna Brazile, former interim Democratic National Committee chair, whose forthcoming memoir alleges in an excerpt in Politico that under her predecessor, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, quote, the DNC was rigging the system to throw the primary to Hillary.
Well, that's what they did.
We knew that.
I mean, they did everything in their power and every underhand tactic they could to get Hillary into power.
To retire 80% of the party's bank debt, but exacted a steep price. The agreement, Brazile writes, signed by Amy Dacey, the former CEO of the DNC, and Robbie Mook of the Clinton campaign, with a copy to the campaign's general counsel, Mark Elias, specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. Her campaign had the right of refusal of who would be the party communications director, and it would make final decisions on all the other staff.
So
basically, the Clinton Foundation bought off the DNC.
The Clinton campaign just bought. Well, I don't know if that happened, but essentially, she's saying the Hillary campaign bought the fucking DNC, lock, stock, and barrel. What's it saying?
Yes, I understand about that, Mr. Fantasy Gaming.
What's it saying?
The whole, we're not supposed to put anything on Twitch that we put on anywhere else in 24 hours. But
Yeah.
I will have to eventually message them. But for now, I'm not really worried too much about it. I just do what I want. That's how I run my show. So if I ever get in trouble and it happens, then I'll stop. But we'll see. I've been doing it for weeks now, so I'm not too worried.
So
about it.
this is a travesty of freaking democracy and justice.
Yeah, but again, we already knew this. We already knew what happened. Like when we started the talk show forever ago, and we brought up the fact that the emails were leaked by Anonymous.
No, the emails were leaked by WikiLeaks.
Was it WikiLeaks? Are you sure? Because Anonymous hacked them too and had released.
Probably, but I think it was WikiLeaks. I don't know. WikiLeaks just released everything.
That's true too. Either way, emails were released where it talked about the DNC colluding with the Clinton
campaign, and essentially said that they changed how they did things to benefit Hillary Clinton and her campaign.
Basically, how they were against Sanders from the start and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And no, High-Tech, the whole dual streaming thing, or the whole streaming thing, you're not supposed to put any video that's put on Twitch within 24 hours after you post it. However, I'm dual streaming, so I'm streaming to both services at the same time. I'm technically live on both. So I'm not sure how that works exactly.
Because it's not a video. You're not porting a video over.
Well, no, yeah, because I'm not porting video over. I think technically it's kind of asshole way to get around it.
It's not an asshole way. Fuck Twitch for doing that.
That's true.
Fuck all the big companies that's not owned by Amazon. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the Twitch...
Fuck off platform of support we're currently using to live stream this.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, like, Twitch has had this... I knew about that when I signed it, and everybody was worried about that. Everybody gets affiliate, basically, because it's super easy to get. But
because they want all the money.
Yeah. But, the whole 24 hours non-compete kind of thing.
Yeah, non-compete clause.
But like I said, if I'm streaming to both at the same time, I understand that you're not allowed to upload anything, and you're not allowed to put anything you put on Twitch within 24 hours. However, if I'm streaming to both...
You're not tweeting anything. You're not moving things over from Twitch.
No. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll try to fight it if it comes up. And if I get my account banned, then so be it. I probably will just continue to live on. My heart will go on. Or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, let's carry this on.
required to consult with the campaign about all other staffing, budgeting, data, analytics, and mailings. This Victory Fund agreement had been signed in August 2015, just 4 months after Hillary announced her candidacy and nearly a year before she officially had the nomination.
There were lots of things that were shocking about it. One, the financial condition of the DNC. Two, the way the DNC then had to rely on the Clinton campaign for the money and the resources to continue even operating.
In a statement, Wasserman Schultz told Fox News she is proud of her work at DNC and urged Democrats to remain focused on a progressive agenda.
Madam Secretary, any response to what Donna Brazile is saying?
The Clinton campaign did not respond to our query, nor would the Federal Elections Commission disclose whether it is investigating Brazil.
Yeah, the Federal Elections Commission has been absent in all of this bullshit. Where the fuck are they been? Where the fuck have they been?
They're probably a group that gets paid but doesn't do anything. They're probably one of those groups that's been made.
No, it's the government. It's a federal organization that oversees and
it's
decides
a group
elections.
that's made that doesn't do anything. They're literally just there to get paid.
They're supposed to.
Exactly, but there's tons of federal organizations that do nothing and just sit there and get paid. I think that's what they're doing here. Because they would have publicly said they were doing an investigation, or they should have.
Well, I don't know. They might not if they were in an investigation.
They still should. I think they still should announce somewhere they're conducting an investigation, especially when
they
stuff like this
really
happens.
should be, because there's so much that came.
There's
out
so
of
much stuff that happened last election. The whole Russian thing, which Russian probe is underway, and
there's actually some interesting news on that. I don't actually have that in the lineup, but Mueller, the special counsel overseeing this, has actually issued an arrest warrant for Trump's former campaign manager and like 2 other people.
Somebody got arrested last week. I thought we covered that story.
We might have.
I think we did. I don't think.
But yeah, basically they found that he was an illegal lobbyist for the government of Ukraine, and they said Ukraine, but they weren't exactly specific.
Yeah.
And and other things, and apparently he did money laundering and such. So it's pretty damn interesting to see.
Good stuff. Good stuff as usual.
Evidence of a rigged primary and found none.
I'll be asking some questions as well, along with my friend Roland Martin of TV1.
Yet the excerpt neglects to mention that Brazile used her dual role as a CNN commentator to steer CNN debate questions to Clinton in advance.
Exactly what happened.
Brazile denied having done so.
Where did you get it? I as a Christian woman, I understand
Fuck
persecution.
off with that bullshit.
Oh no. When you get those people that just like try to dodge questions like that, no. That headset looks retarded.
It's harsh.
Not sit here and be persecuted because your information is totally false.
But in an essay for Time magazine last May, Brazile belatedly acknowledged having done so and called it a mistake she'll regret forever. The DNC's new leadership told reporters they've restructured the party's fundraising and are now committed to electing Democrats every year in every zip code.
James, thank you. More on this with the
Yeah,
panel.
sure.
Yep.
They're in it for electing conservative Democrats.
This. Alright, keep them on it. Nice. I love how there's just like a mixture of Hillary, Hitler, Hillary, music, weeboo shit, Hillary. I love how all her faces are just like hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody looks good on just a pause. Nobody. You could pause a video at any point and nobody would look good.
But I look the same. Anyway, carrying on to the next story.
This happened recently.
I heard about the story. So the police arrested the suspect in the Denver Walmart shooting that killed 3 people. Alright, just roll that back a little bit.
Yeah, so this happened, I believe, yesterday evening.
Yesterday? It was, sometimes recently.
14 hours after we found this. So this happened in a Walmart, multiple people injured. And I think there was videos from inside the Walmart where it basically cleared out. It was just police going in.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That was extremely short.
That wasn't even a real video, yeah. It was just like, hey,
Shootings basically random, no indication of terror, which probably is true, seeing as there wasn't really anything said or notes left.
So who knows?
Well, they got the guy, so they'll find out pretty quickly.
He's probably just an old, disgruntled man. Who knows? All the videos linked down here at the bottom now. Nifty. Ooh, I see some interesting stories in here. All right. This is interesting. Well, hello there. You know, at first I kind of thought that was the Steam logo on the side of that jet right there. I mean, look at it. It kind of looks like the Steam logo. That's just kind of funny. Anyway, North Korea says U.S. bomber staged surprise strike drill on Thursday. KCN.
Actually, the United States and Russia did. The United States and Russia basically just laid down the law saying, fuck right off with all your bullshit.
Is this the short story?
Yep.
Short story. The strategic bombers escorted by U.S. and South Korean fighter jets flew from the Andersen Air Force Base in Guam to conduct a surprise strike drill, the KCNA said. There was no immediate confirmation from the U.S. and South Korean military, so that was like extremely short.
Yes, pretty much.
Alright then, I'll cover the next thing. Owner of Corona Beer acquires stake in world's biggest cannabis
This is how you know marijuana will be legal in America soon. Once the big beer companies start making investments in marijuana...
Not just the big beer, but any big
company. Any big company, but especially beer because it's a direct competitor to them, in a sense.
We don't care, we're making money. Actually, a lot of people that smoke weed do drink beer too.
That's true.
It's a combo market.
Yeah, it's a combo market, but it's good. It's still big business.
And then, or also you get like a big food, like Cisco backs marijuana. That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
It's like you got the munchies. You got your food for the stoners, and then you got your drinks for the stoners. Now look at that. It's all good.
Yeah, all just kits with. Just
hilarious.
Chips, drinks, and weed.
That would
sell.
That would work. Yeah, that would sell.
People who sell marijuana do that.
Get your stoner pack. Just call it a stoner pack.
Yep.
Anyway, Constellation Brands, the owner of Corona Beer, is acquiring a 9.9% stake in Canopy Growth Corporation. Funny. The world's biggest cannabis producer. Canopy Growth confirmed in a press release Monday that the two companies will collaborate to develop and market cannabis-based beverages. Weird.
Neat. Well, actually, edibles and drinkables.
I've never had drinkables, because drinkables would taste like ass.
Well, no, because it's. I mean, they're like take out the raw chemical, the CBD and such, and infuse it with sodas and drinks and things.
So I get high while I enjoy my drink.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. Develop market cannabis beverages, which they hope will be able to be sold as an adult use products in markets where those products are federally legal.
Which they will, because it's already done.
Constellation Brands will be paying $245 million to buy a minority stake in Canada.
Damn, that means that valuation of that company is $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
That's a multi-billion-dollar weed company right there, folks.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. The deal, which is expected to close early November, will also give Constellation the option to purchase additional sales of Canopy in the future. We made contact with them through someone more than 6 months ago.
Through someone.
Yeah. Canopy Growth CEO Bruce Linton told Vice Money.
Who's a very rich man right now.
They're really entrepreneurial. They don't have 3 board meetings with 12 people to get things done. They're nimble, aggressive, agile. Basically, he was like, dude, let's go talk to fucking beer people. And then they did. So that's pretty cool. I wish eventually, I could get on board with somebody that big for something I do in my life. That's never going to happen. Anyway, the alcohol giant, which owns and markets over 100 brands of beer, Jesus Christ, wines and spirits, will also provide Canopy Growth support in areas related to consumer analytics and marketing, which is big for them. Mm-hmm. This is crucial, especially in a political climate where the Canadian federal government is attempting to restrict the branding and advertising of weed, in line with their mantra of legalizing weed to protect Canada's use.
Oh dear God, protect the youth.
What?
In Canada.
In the near term, Canopy could leverage Constellation's experience in distribution and packaging, and more importantly, the relationship with provincial liquor control boards that are being tasked with the oversight on legal recreational cannabis distribution, which is useful.
Because I mean,
and retail across Canada. So this is mostly Canada, I assume.
Yes, I guess yes. But I mean, this will be good for
so
them.
Daniel Pearlstein,
I'm sure they have probably subsidiaries in America.
Corona sells in America.
So no, I'm talking about the weed company, Canopy. I'm sure they probably have subsidiaries in America. I mean, they're a $2.5 billion company. They're You know they have to be working down here.
Either that or they just make that much. As we've seen, it's possible.
In just Canada, though?
Yeah.
Have you seen Canada?
I mean, have you seen all of the amount of money being made in, Las
in
Vegas and Colorado?
$1 billion plus in Colorado this year alone in taxes.
Yep.
Let alone in sales. Although people are saying that, that's another story that I was reading today, that people are worried about the high taxes of marijuana actually reducing the black market, or not reducing the black market, I should say.
Like reducing the black market, yeah, like not reducing the
random the black market itself. They're saying they're saying the 30% tax in Colorado and
what is the black market? Just anything not sold legally?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, it's like your random street dealers and shit that you already deal with right now.
Yeah, well the problem is that the taxes are so high. It's 30% tax. That's huge.
Yeah, I know.
They're saying it's not doing enough to dent the black market because it's
the tax,
cheaper to buy.
It's because the tax is too high, basically.
Yeah. I think California's is going to be 15%, which they say is going to be right on the money.
Which is probably reasonable.
Maine and Massachusetts are looking at 20%, which is also pretty reasonable. Washington is also struggling under this because there's just like 30%.
Yeah.
So y'all states out there legalizing this, bring it down to like 15-20%.
Put our drug dealers out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
put our drug dealers out of business.
It's like, the drug dealers could just buy the expensive weed and like grow it themselves and stuff like that. That's one of those things. It's like, well,
they could. I mean, in most of those states, it's legal to grow your own. So if you wanted to take the time, money, investment to do it, you could.
Fucking, as Greenfield was saying, get the hydroponics. Dog, if weed becomes legal in Texas, fucking, I'm totally on board with just growing for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And selling to dispensaries.
Well, you need licenses to sell to dispensaries.
Okay.
And it's, if you did it in Texas, it'd be fucking difficult as hell.
Maybe.
Unless you got the backing of Corona.
I mean, I've got the backing of this backyard. No.
And then you're gonna get robbed.
Maybe.
I mean, buy those apartments right over there.
Probably. Nah, nobody will need to. No, that's all I need to know. I've got extra rooms here. I mean, the rooms are reasonable size, and they have closets. I'll be alright.
Yeah.
That's cool, Cattleman. You work at a brewery. That's pretty nifty. Interesting stuff. Did you follow? I guess you didn't follow, because I didn't get a notification. I just want to make sure that's good. What?
No, I just work at a brewery. I just wonder what it's like.
That means, beginners? I don't know.
Anyways, but this is interesting that this is going to happen, man. Weed will be legal in all of the country very soon.
Yep.
Now that all of these companies, these big companies, once a pharmaceutical company gets in to this, it's over. It's all over.
Oh yeah, I know, because they have the money and they have everything. But like, what if a pharmaceutical company gets like into it, buys it out to just keep it from going anywhere? Like they buy it to kill it.
They could. I mean, they'd have to buy all of them.
And?
They don't have that kind of money and people wouldn't sell.
Maybe. You would have people that wouldn't sell, especially if they knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they probably have the money.
They probably have the money, but I don't think they would sell.
Yeah. I think you'd get those stoners to be like, nah, fuck you. I'm going to hold out.
Yeah. Or hold out for more money. But that's the thing. Like I said, I'm not super worried about pharmaceuticals trying to buy out the entire freaking multi-billion-dollar market.
No, probably not. Anyway, we'll cover those last two stories and we'll end it. It's already been an hour.
Yes, it is. This is just a brief update to a story we covered last week where there were rumors that Trump was threatening to cut off aid to Puerto Rico. So, he's now no longer doing that. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday agreed to expand the use of disaster aid to rebuild Puerto Rico's power grid and other infrastructure, which is good. Even though we also reported last week how they had that white Montana deal or something.
Yeah, white Montana or white something like that. Yeah, some sort of weird subsidiary. Some sort of weird. Yeah, it's Whitefish. Some sort of weird company that they gave the bid to.
That only had 2 full-time employees.
Yeah,
and they couldn't critique. They couldn't audit their labor costs or anything. It was got hundreds of dollars. Like they got like $400 a day for lodging, like $80 for food per day. They flew in people on like helicopters at like $15-30 grand 15 to 30 grand, something in that range for like 3 different trips.
You could just buy a helicopter for that much.
Pretty much, but yeah, no, this company just spend money at the ass as soon as they get that contract.
Yep.
Anyways,
I mean, if I got that much money from the government, I don't know, maybe that's what I should look into. The other idea I had for me living to be my own boss forever is just to become my own PMC and just go to war-torn areas. Except for a PMC for IT. Not really, no.
Just building military grade infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
IT infrastructure, yeah.
Yeah, but see, I still feel like I would want some military training. Because, like, the cool thing about being a PMC, I could buy all the guns I've ever wanted in my life. I could buy all the military-grade hardware I ever wanted in my life and play around with it. And then also, I could do computer stuff. I think if I got to that point, I probably would just get in the business of killing instead of actually doing IT. To be completely fair. It's more profitable. It's lucrative.
Yeah, but in a unique agreement recognizing both the massive disaster and its dire financial problems, aid from FEMA for infrastructure will be released faster and more flexible than typical disasters. In the new agreement, FEMA will cover 90% of the cost of rebuilding, up from its typical 75%.
I don't see
so
that.
It's lower down.
How did you just...
I'm just jumping down to try and save some time. Gosh. So the cost of repairs is going to be upwards of $95 billion, according to this. Wow, that's only 30%. It's been weeks and only 30% of the grid has been restored. I mean, I know they said it would take months to do, but this is insane. But I mean, I'm glad Trump's approved this more flexible deal, especially after that bullshit with whatever whitefish, whatever the hell...
Especially after he gave himself a solid 10. I'm glad he's actually on 10 level.
I'll give myself a solid 10. I think we did better than any president before us did on disasters. Yes. Next.
Alright. TripAdvisor users are accusing the site of deleting their accounts of rape and assault. Interesting.
Yeah, this is actually a really big deal. I didn't know this was going on. But
I didn't either.
Wow, reading about this was like fucking insane.
Users of TripAdvisor say that reports of rape and assault were removed by the site. TripAdvisor's users report that the site has deleted their accounts of being raped and assaulted while traveling. The users say they were told their reviews were deemed hearsay or unsuitable for the family-friendly site. Which is, I mean, I guess it's unfriendly or whatever, unfamily-friendly, which is true. However, it's probably needs to be said.
Yeah.
There needs to be like a special section for that or something, probably.
Yeah, or just like a
a little meter on like
or not safe for worker thing.
Just a statistic. Just a statistic of like some people say they were sexually assaulted.
No, just put like a content warning above the review. Allow people to click through it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Site makes money from hotels that pay commissions and advertising fees. A TripAdvisor spokesperson said that the company will introduce a new badge notification system.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't want to do that because it hurts their business with advertisers and hotels.
Yeah, because the hotel, nobody wants to stay in a hotel they were raped in by like staff or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is terrible, and also they should just fire the staff member and fix it anyway. Anyway, the travel booking review website TripAdvisor is built on trust between itself, its users, and the businesses that receive reviews and customers from the site. But the trust is breaking in dangerous ways, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Interesting. Which found numerous examples of users reporting first-hand accounts of rape and assault in reviews for hotels and resorts, only to find their testimonies had been removed by the site. The users were given a variety of reasons for deletions, from accusations to hearsay to violations of the site's family-friendly policy. In one case, at least 3 users reported being raped or sexually assaulted at the same Mexican resort, only to find their posts had been removed. Deletion of these reviews is likely to result in subsequent travelers being put in harm's way.
I mean, yeah, no, definitely.
Maybe
Fuck all of these results. Yeah, no, people wouldn't have gone.
Maybe we wouldn't have gone, or that wouldn't have happened to me. Jamie Valeri, a mother of 6 from Wisconsin, told Journal Sentinel, speculating as to how she might have been able to avoid being assaulted, had a review of a prior guest's similar experience and not been removed from the site.
This is just basically, I'm not going to Mexico. just after seeing this and seeing how I won't really be able to get the facts. Also, maybe Google review might be a better place.
Maybe because Google would just be like, we tracked your phone. We knew you were there. We saw you get abducted. Yeah, you were raped. That's terrible, but it's true.
I just meant it as they wouldn't block the reviews, but okay. He's like, Google's just tracking you endlessly. They know you got raped.
They called 911 for you. That's why you got saved in the first place. Good guy, Google.
Yeah. But no, this is ridiculous that TripAdvisor's doing this and putting its users into harm's way.
Speaking of Google, I want to watch that one movie with Emma Watson and... Who is it? It's Emma Watson and somebody else. Is it Gerard Butler? It's like The Work or whatever the fuck. It's where the company's basically like Google, but they're in everybody's lives, tracking everything everyone's doing. Everybody's monitored by like scanners all day and stuff like that in this company. And like they choose her, but like she starts to question everything they're doing, like ethics and things. It's like
sounds interesting.
It's like Ex Machina was. It's like one of those controversial, weird question Sundance Films type things. It just seems like that sort of thing. Should watch that movie. But anyway, since we spent an hour here, we're probably just going to sit here and chit-chat back and forth and talk about things. So, we'll see you guys next time on the next show, next week, for episode 31. And also, next week for my Tuesday Weeaboo Talk Show special. See you guys then. This has been the Table Talk Thursday crew, signing off for the night.
Have a good evening.
Everybody, have a good night. Hi, Keck, everybody that's in Discord. We'll see you on later. Thank you, Mr. Candleman, for joining us, and thank you for catching the show. Hope you liked and enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. And it's always nice to get new feedback.